Shrek. This is a 2001 animated comedy, and the plot is we meet this ogre named Shrek, voiced by Mike Myers, who lives in the swamp all by himself, alone, isolated in this fairy tale universe, and because everyone is afraid of him because he's an ogre, because Shrek just doesn't want any interactions with anyone, he doesn't want anything people around him. But he's not till he meets this talking donkey named Donkey, voiced by Eddie Murphy himself. And both of them go on this quest by Lord Farquaad to order Shrek. If he wants his swamp back by these fairy tale creatures that they put him in, he has to go and find Princess Fiona and bring him back to him for marriage. Of course, Shrek, along the way, taking Princess Fiona, voiced by Cameron Diaz, to Lord Farquaad, that he starts to have feelings for this princess. What do I think of Shrek I really love this movie. I do. It's somewhat of a classic. It's a cult anime classic that is such, remember, its animation, its story, its memes, its quotes, its lines, and for what it is such a Shrek-tastic film, no pun intended. But this is what made it so good. I don't know if it's the story, it's the humor, is it the voice cast? Either one of them, it still makes it so good. And let's just say the animation itself, for the most part, is really good. It still looks well done, even though I will admit, looking back on it, it does look a bit dated in certain areas. Not all of it, but I think everything still holds up. But when you look at the 2D animated movies, like from the Disney stuff or Don Bluth's animation, it does still holds up because you don't have to worry about it. It's just when it comes to the 3D stuff, it still looks really popular. I know it's popular today, especially with Toy Story when it came out in 1995, just a couple of years before Shrek happens. But this is the first animated movie that won an Oscar for Best Animated Feature Film. That is saying something. This is the first film that won an animated feature movie that no one spot, bet Monsters Inc. and Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, which still the best animated film of the day. Let's get into the voice cast. Mike Myers as the voice of Shrek. Now, Shrek is really much a likable character. You want to root for him, but first you see him, he's just a loner. You see him in the swamp, and of course, he does the typical parody of the fairy tale we all know from Disney. And of course, it's parodying the fairy tale from Disney stuff, which is taking the piss out of Disney as well, which is, I'll get DreamWorks and Disney didn't get along. They're both rivals from each other, which is quite funny. I'm not going to admit, it's pretty funny and hilarious. And of course, you see him in the swamp, does his usual thing, eating slugs and eating these horrible things. And he's taking these pond baths as well and farting away. And of course, playing the mud and get a mud shower and taking a dump. He's on the end of the movie. And of course, you do have funny moments, you do have some funny scenes, one-liners, especially when he's scaring these hunters who's hunting for him, and you see him going, now ogres, oh, they're much worse. They eat your skin, they shave your liver, squeeze the jelly out your eyes. It's quite good on toast, which I will admit, kind of hilarious. And of course, when he does meet this donkey, voiced by Eddie Murphy, which Eddie Murphy, I do like Eddie Murphy. He's always funny, and he's always got some good charm to him. He's always funny where his films is in and likable for what he is, even though some of his films are not the greatest, but I will admit, he's always funny. He always put a laugh in my face. Especially when you first meet Shrek and Donkey's asking, hang around with him, and Shrek doesn't want nothing to do with him. But when you do go on this quest to start to develop this friendship, you do see from the films, from the first movie and from this movie's now, is quite interesting. The best of my duo since Woody and Buzz from Toy Story or Timon and Pumbaa from The Lion King. You know, all these anime had these duos together, which is great. Well, Princess Fiona, voiced by Cameron Diaz, as an actress, yeah, I know she's retired now after 2014 for our stinkers, but I still like Cameron Diaz. I do. She's a great actress. She's likable and always, but seeing her now voicing Princess Fiona is interesting. Of course, she has done a few other movies here and there, like The Mask, like Something About Mary, and a few other movies, and of course Sex Tape, which we don't talk about that film. She's great, Princess Fiona, when he does rescued by Shrek, and she's frightened by him because he thought he's a Prince Charming, but he ended up being an ogre, and they both get along, and they start to have these feelings for each other, and they start to have somewhat romantic feelings. And of course, Fiona does have feelings for him, but what she doesn't know, that she got this curse that it's basically she's turned to a princess by day, but by night she transforms into an ogre. And of course, only way to break that spell is to kiss by her true love. But of course, we do get a scene where Donkey knows about the secret. And of course, Fiona's saying that Ugly and Princess don't go together, and it breaks Shrek's heart when Shrek's about to tell her that he's in love with her, or he does like her more than that. But of course, Lord Farquaad, voiced by John Lithgow. Lord Farquaad, I would say for the most part, he's a really likable villain. You do see him, he's a little midget. I don't know why I say midget, but he is kind of a midget for most of the part. And of course, they make fun of him, especially Shrek and Donkey, taking the piss out of him when Fiona mentions him, saying, what does he look like? And says, oh, how about you just lower your expectations by him? Or doesn't want to show by his short notice about him or something, that because he's small and midget. But, well, of course, it's funny. He does have his moments. He does. Because there's one scene where Lord Farquaad was looking at Princess Fiona and by this magic mirror. And of course, he'd got a little, you know what, under the bed covers. Let's just say that. Let's just keep it in the kid level, if you know what I mean. That being said, I do think he's a great villain. Not the most memorable, but he does have some funny moments. Of course, the dragon that Shrek and Donkey has to go face with. And of course, Donkey starts flirting with this dragon. And of course, this is a bit of a weird thing. A donkey and a dragon get along together, and they start to have this romance going on. And of course, we do have this fairy tale creatures, all these fairy tale characters like Pinocchio, the gingerbread man, Peter Pan, the 3 little pigs, the big bad wolf, and of course, all these fairy tale creatures that live in the Shrek swamp for a bit, because by Lord Farquaad. It's just, there's so many great characters, so many great moments, but not only the story, the great moments, the characters, the humor, it has the best soundtrack for an animated movie like this, like from Shrek. Especially not with All Star by Smash Mouth, but I Am a Believer by them. And of course, Eddie Murphy sang that song as well by the end. There's so many great things about this film. This has the best soundtrack by this film. So many great songs. Whenever a song comes out, you think of one movie, that is Shrek. It's anything about this movie. I love it. It's just one of the best animated films. And yeah, I'm going to say it now. Shrek is an all-time classic. It's one of the best, and it's one of the best animated films. Maybe Monsters Inc. is a little bit better, but Shrek is too timeless. Maybe. I don't know. That's up to debate. It's up to you guys. What do you think? My rating for Shrek is cinematic masterpiece. Yep, that's my rating for Shrek. So guys, comment down below. What do you think of Shrek? Do you love it? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's alright? Comment down below and tell me what's your favourite moment. What is your all-time favourite anime movie? You think Shrek is better than Monsters Inc. or you think Monsters Inc. is a little bit better than Shrek? Let me know. And of course, guys, like, comment, subscribe. See ya!